Mr. Knight, you're back. Oh, goody.
Mind if I pick your brain?
Not if it will get you out of my office.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
You already sat through my lecture on the subject, Mr. Knight. Perhaps next time you could stay awake and learn something.
Do you have any idea what cabri sans corps means?
Cabri sans corps? Yes, I do. It's a Haitian term, I believe. It's French, and literally translates as goat without horns.
As in a female goat?
No, as in a human sacrifice. Sacrifices in voodoo are usually of the animal variety. Chickens, bulls, goats. If the gods demand a goat without horns, it means a human being.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
It's very rare. Most voodoo practices do not include human sacrifice as a matter of record, but it is theoretically possible if that's what the gods demand. For example, one of the chants I had translated for me from a Haitian ritual went like this. Mistress Erzulie, come and aid us. If a cock is demanded, we will give it. If a bull will suffice, behold it. But if a goat without horns is required for sacrifice, oh, where will we find one? Erzulie is the gentlest of Loa, so they call on her for mercy. But I have seen grown and powerful Hungan tremble before a possession by one of the more violent Loa, such as Papa Nebo. Clearly, they are afraid that something of the sort will be ordered, or that the Loa will simply take it for themselves.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
I wouldn't dwell on it. Most voodoo sects probably haven't seen a human sacrifice for several generations.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
I'm afraid I can't help you there, Mr. Knight.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
While I find the colloquial bastardizations of voodoo somewhat interesting from a sheerly intellectual point of view, there's not a lot of relation between people like Laveau and true voodoo practices.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It's June 23rd, the feast day of St. John the Baptist. But June 23rd has been a sacred day since the earliest times. Ancient sun worshippers used to roll a flaming wheel down a hill to celebrate the sun's descent on that day.
A burning wheel? Huh. What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I'm not in the habit of repeating myself, Mr. Knight.
I'll see you later.
Oh, do keep in touch.
All right, but this is private. The things I do for my art.
Yes? Who is it?
It's Father McLaughlin back again, don't you know?
Yes, Father. Come on in. Please be seated, Father.
Thank you.
Now,
Do you mind if I ask you a few more questions, Madame?
if you wish, Father.
Tell me more about voodoo in New Orleans.
It's just plain evil. It's dangerous to even discuss it.
Tell me more about voodoo in New Orleans.
It's just plain evil.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Shh. They'll hear you.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I don't think I should say any more about that.
About Cabri Sankor?
Well, are you going to tell me what it means, Father?
It means goat without horns.
Oh, Father, you surprise me. You do know what it means. You know what they mean by goat without horns, don't you? A human being. That's right. Slit your throat, cut out your heart. Pure evil murder.
Do you know anything about human sacrifice here in New Orleans?
Well, my great-grandmother could tell stories. She saw it. People say that sort of thing wasn't done in New Orleans, but the real voodoo queens did it. Oh, yes.
Who were the real voodoo queens?
Well, my great-grandmother told me that Laveau was just a front, a flamboyant decoy. She distracted authorities from the real voodoo queen of New Orleans. It's been the same one for almost 200 years. She's head of a secret voodoo enfant. That's what they call their temples, you know. It's so secret, most of the voodoo people in the city don't even know about it. The real voodoo queen controlled Laveau, gave her a little bit of power, and used her like a puppet.
Tell me more about this secret voodoo hound four.
Well, I've never seen it. I wouldn't go near it if you paid me. But it's here in Orleans, I guarantee it. I hear the drums at night, oh yes. That's why I am so ill. I tell you, those drums. But we shouldn't talk about it. They'll hear us. It's the devil's work that happens there. I can tell you. I'll show you something. Something secret. You mustn't tell anyone, Father.
I swear on my collar.
Here it is, mon père. A true object of evil if there ever was one.
It radiates something, all right.
It belonged to my great-grandmother. She told my mother that it was a token to gain entrance to the real voodoo ceremonies.
You don't say.
To tell you the truth, I always felt nervous about having it in the house. You know, evil influence and all.
Oh, I can see how you would, yes.
And yet, I could never part with it. It's been in the family for generations. Would you bless it for me, Father? I feel strange asking such a thing of you, but surely you understand.
Bless this bracelet of a snake, even though its vibes aren't great. Let it do nobody harm when they wear it on their arm. Voodoo spirits, go away. Don't come back another day. And now, let us pray.
Gabriel has a thought about the clay.
Bless, oh bless this circlet of silver. Take the curse, oh take it, Wilbur.
A lovely blessing, mon père.
Yes, I think it made a lasting impression. Here you go.
I feel so much better now.
Well, madame, I must be going.
Of course, Father. I know how busy you must be tending your flock.
I'm not going back on the street looking like this. I knew you'd miss me, so I came back.
Oh boy, party time.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Could you do some research for me?
Sure, what?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Do you have messages for me?
Nope. None right now.
Times Picayune, dated June 20, 1993. Gabriel scans over an uninteresting front page. Under the cultural events section, there's a notice about a lecture on African religions. The lecture is at Tulane University. Gabriel's horoscope for the day. An evil eye is upon you. Change course before it's too late.
Lighten up. I'll be back later.
Good luck.
You're back. You know, you really freaked me out running off like that. Yoo-hoo! Anybody home?
Stay away from Margagetti, or you shall pay with your life.
What the hell is going on?
The letter is written in German. The letter is one, the only... Gabriel...
I knew you'd miss me, so I came back.
I wish you wouldn't wear that coat outside in June. I could smell you from here.
Do you know anything about this?
I did research for you on that already, Gabriel.
Right, exactly. I'm going out.
Have fun.
Hi. Uh-huh. Can I ask you just a few more questions?
Whatever, man.
Are you still interested in selling that crocodile mask?
Or you show me $100 and the mask is yours.
I have $100. You still want to sell that crocodile mask?
That's $100, sure enough. The mask, it's yours, sir. Here you go. Careful it don't bite you now.
Yeah, thanks.
Don't you go forgetting your lagniappe. A free bottle of Master Gambling Oil.
The sign said I could get Lady Luck oil instead.
Well, I wasn't thinking a man as young as you would be needing that kind of remedying. But if you's having problems with your...
Oh, that's all right. Believe me, I don't need it. I'll just stick with this. Thanks, anyway.
Of course, it ain't none of my business if you do need it.
I don't need it.
Of course you don't.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Sure. I'm not too busy at the moment.
What can you tell me about your regulars in here?
This crowd, the ones you see, are mostly regulars. That guy and girl in the corner come here a lot. When they're not fighting, they're all over each other. In other words, they're in love.
What can you tell me about your regulars in here?
See those old guys at the chess table? That's Sam and Marcus. They played every day for 20 years. Sam, the one with the purple jacket, he's lost every one of those games. It's not that he's a bad player. I've seen him beat guys twice as good as Marcus. But Marcus has Sam so psyched out, he loses his nerve every time.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? I don't believe in it myself. I invented a drink once called Laveau's Tomb, but it wasn't very popular. Some people do believe, though. Even some of our regulars here at Napoleon House. That guy Sam, the chess player, oh, he's really into voodoo. He's always talking about spells and gree-gree and stuff.
Really? Great, thanks. So what has Sam told you about voodoo?
Well, about 50 years ago, Sam was too shy to talk to this pretty girl he was in love with. He went to a voodooine and had her make him a love charm. It was a little pouch that he had to bury under the girl's front porch. Well, he buried the pouch, and the next day he went up and talked to the girl, and sure enough, she didn't reject him. Now she's his wife. Poor guy.
So what has Sam told you about voodoo?
That's about all I can remember.
Tell me about the street musicians around here.
I like music as much as the next guy, but they get pretty monotonous sometimes, you know? Like that drummer right outside. They say there's been a drummer outside Napoleon House since the day it opened. I like drums, but this character really gets on my nerves. It sounds like the same thing over and over. I just want to say, enough already.
Sounds like my life. Excuse me. I hate to interrupt your game, but could I ask you a few questions?
But game! This isn't a game! It's a slaughter!
He's right, you know, so let me die in peace, would you?
The small bottle is labeled Master Gambling Oil.
Got a second, Sam? It's about your game.
I don't have a game, that's my problem. Don't you touch those chess pieces while I'm gone, you bastard.
I ain't never needed a cheat yet, you loser.
Thought you might be interested in this gambling oil.
Let me see that. Master Gambling Oil. What's it for?
Don't you ever wonder why Marcus wins every time?
Get out of here. Marcus would never use something like this.
Well, if that's what you want to believe. This is a powerful voodoo oil.
Ah, go on. Really?
This voodoo oil could make a nun get lucky.
Really? You think it really works, huh?
I'd stake my reputation as a novelist on it.
And you say Marcus uses this. That explains a lot. Let me see that bottle. Oh, this looks authentic.
Oh, it is.
If I could really beat that bastard. Stonewall, give me a Pim's cup, would you?
Coming up, Sam.
How much you think I'd have put in here?
Careful. You don't want to overdo it. Too much luck can be dangerous.
Ha! There's no such thing as too much. Now stand back.
Come on already. I'm ready to checkmate.
We'll see about that, Mr. Schmuddy Big Mouth. Checkmate! Checkmate, you bastard!
Son of a bitch.
20 years I've been waiting to say that. Checkmate, checkmate, checkmate!
You are the biggest butthead Sam Singleton that I ever met.
Checkmate!
You You! Aaron, just put this chessboard where the sun don't shine!
Hallelujah! I did it! Yippee!
Nice game.
Nice game. Hell, I was brilliant! Course, I gotta give some of the credit to that oil of yours. I've been losing to that guy for 20 years. If you ever need a favor, you come to Sam, you hear?
Will do. Could you do anything with this?
What is this? A clay mold? Well, I am a jeweler, you know. And I owe you one. Would you like me to cast this for you?
If you can.
You got it, pal. Actually, it'll be a pleasure to get my tools out. First time in years. I've been too busy playing that goddamn game. I'll have the bracelet tomorrow. Meet me here.
Great, thanks. Can I ask you some questions now?
Look, I'd be glad to help you out, but I've been stuck in this bot too long to know much about anything.
It's getting late. Gabriel decides to go home for the day.
Excuse me. I'm going inside.
Oh, excuse me, I'm afraid St. George's is closed for the day.
I'm not a customer. I'm here to see the owner.
Why don't you just leave your name and number with me, and I'll tell him you stopped by.
Listen, if Gabriel is here, he'll want to see me. Is he here?
Really couldn't say for certain, but in the morning...
Gracie, say goodnight.
Ugh.
You came. I didn't think you would.
I didn't think I would either.
Your eyes. Oh, I could show you around a little. It's not much, but...
Please, don't. I couldn't focus on much of anything right now.
Yeah, I know. God, what is it about you?
Just shut up and kiss me.
You're not speaking to me this morning?
Don't be silly. I just have nothing to say.
Did you find out anything about that pattern I gave you?
Yeah, I did find something. I checked the microfiche at the public library. I found an article about a murder in 1810. The newspaper published a part of a pattern found around the body. It looks damn close.
You're incredible. All that work.
Forget it.
Have it your way. Have you noticed this guy outside the shop?
Yeah. He gives me the creeps. I wish he'd go away.
Get the hell out of here.
The figure outside does not respond. St. George Books could use some serious renovation.
Get the hell out of here.
The figure outside does not respond. That doesn't seem to be removable. Times-Picayune, dated June 21st, 1993. Gabriel's eye is immediately drawn to an article about the voodoo murders. He scans it quickly.
I don't believe this. They've closed the case.
What case?
The voodoo murders case. The paper says that the police have learned that the murders were the result of an underworld cartel war, and that the war is over.
That's not good.
It's ridiculous. What about the killers? And the voodoo angle, they never got anything on that.
I know you were into it, Gabriel. But if it's over, that's hardly a negative. Anyway, if you're that upset, why don't you talk it over with your pal Mosley?
You don't get it, Grace. Just forget it, okay?
Gabriel decides to check his horoscope, despite his disgust. Death walks close to you today. Resist temptation, lest his eye fall on you too.
Peachy. Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Do you have messages for me?
Nope. None right now.
You can't tell me anything about the word Schottenjäger?
Nope, sorry, I don't speak German.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Wasn't she a big voodoo queen before the Civil War?
That's right.
Well, you just heard everything I know about her.
Do you know what Cabri sans corps means?
No. Sounds French, though.
Do you know anything about a secret voodoo hanfour?
In New Orleans?
I think so.
No, I don't. but it sounds dangerous. You're not gonna try to find this voodoo group yourself, are you?
Would I do that? I'll be back later.
Have fun.
Detective Mosley. Hard at work, I see.
It's you, God help me. Night.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
What's the status on the Voodoo Murders case?
The case? What case? I told you, the Voodoo Murders case is closed.
How can you just close it? It's not solved, is it?
Oh, it's solved. Turns out the Chicago Mafia was trying to invade local territory, using Mississippi for drug running now that Florida's so hot. What we had here was a little resistance from local businessmen. Word came in this morning that the Chicago group is giving up and pulling out of New Orleans.
But that doesn't bring the killers to justice.
Well, the boys upstairs seem to figure it this way. Let the slime kill each other. Better the vermin we know than the Chicago vermin, I guess. The attitude in the department is that we've just been done a huge favor. Well, they're probably right.
What about the local cartel? Are you just gonna let them go?
At least they're part of us. We'll deal with them over time, always have. New Orleans is pretty clean that way, you know.
Well, that's the illusion, isn't it?
Look, I'm not totally in agreement here either, but what can I do? These guys are not about to get caught. I'm disappointed about the book, too. Look, next big murder case I get, I'll call you in and we'll do that one up right, okay? In fact, I could probably dig up some old cases and you could spice them up.
No, thanks. How can I convince you to reopen the case?
Look, the department's not interested.
So, couldn't you make them interested?
With what? I've got 7 bodies and still no leads. The voodoo angle's worthless. And besides, these people aren't hurting anybody but out-of-town drug dealers and hitmen.
The voodoo stuff is not worthless. It's the key to the whole thing. And these people are dangerous. They need to be stopped.
Okay. You want me to reopen this case? Prove what you just said.
What do you mean?
You need to prove there's a legitimate voodoo cult in New Orleans. Prove that they're a threat. Get me a lead on the cult.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
No. Ha! Is that anything like a Chuck Yeager?
I don't think there's any relation. Well, I'll be seeing you.
Ciao, baby.
Sam, my man.
Hey there, it's you. I got that bracelet for you. This piece was a real toughie. For some reason, the metal just wasn't setting. I must be out of practice.
Well, it looks good to me. Thanks, Sam.
No problem. By the way, I'm heading out of town tonight.
Yeah, where to?
Marcus used to tell me that if I ever beat him at chess, he'd take me around the royals.
The old bastard has enough money stuffed in his mattress to cover the federal deficit, and he hates spending a penny of it. I'm gonna enjoy watching him squirm through every mile.
Sounds like fun. Good luck.
Are you kidding? Luck is my middle name.
Hello, beautiful. It's me.
The excitement of seeing you is killing me.
It's a newspaper clipping from the year 1810. Under the window, the books cannot be... The book... Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Let's see, Mittag means midday, noon.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Spiel means game. Interesting.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Himmel means heaven. Uh-huh.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Dry means 3.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Besessen means possessed. That's handy to know.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Drachen means dragons. I wonder if Mosley would know he was being insulted if I called him Drachenbread.
Gabriel's had all... Gabriel selects a volume of German poetry that he always found strangely compelling.
Drei Drachen kriechen in meinen Schlaf. Die Ziele wollen sie lebendig zum Fraß. Feurigen Atems, gespaltener Zunge, genießen sie jedes Mal.
That's nice. Kinda creepy, though. Who's the author?
Let's see. Heinz Ritter. Heinz Ritter. No wonder it gives me chills.
The newspaper clipping describes a ritualistic murder in Congo Square. It includes a rough sketch of a pattern found around the body. The sketch is very similar to the reconstructed VV.
I'll be back later.
Uh-huh.
Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
Does this newspaper clipping mean anything to you?
It looks like ancient history to me.
I suppose. Thanks. Does this pattern look familiar to you?
Where did you get that?
You do recognize it then?
I have never seen it before in my life.
It's an electrical switch. Gabriel has no interest in the noisy fan at the moment. A street drummer has settled outside the museum.
I wish Malia Getty was permanently grafted to my thighs. I'll be going.
Come back again.
That's Crash. What the hell is he up to with that drummer?
Crash is huddled in a pew. He looks seriously ill.
I need to talk to you. Ask you some questions.
No way, man. I'm too sick. Let's go away.
Come on. I have to know what you know about these voodoo people.
You don't know nothing about nothing, man. You're so far out of it, you wouldn't understand anything. Just like that friend of yours, Mosley. Go away.
I'm not like Mosley. I know more than you think I do. I'll believe you.
Forget it, man. It's not worth my breath.
Do you recognize this?
Where'd you get that?
Why? Do you know something about it?
Know something about it? Look at this.
Crash opens his shirt and reveals a tattoo.
It's the same. The same snake.
It's their sign. The mark of the snake. Without it, they'll never let you get close.
The sign of the snake. Right. Your tattoo, my bracelet. Now, do you believe that I know something about these people?
Yeah. You know about them, I guess.
Will you answer some questions for me now?
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll talk to you a little. I'll make it fast.
I saw you talking to that drummer. What did you tell him?
You saw me with the drummer? Nobody's supposed to see. Shit! I blew it again. Promise you won't say nothing to no one. It'll get back to him, everything does. Promise me you won't tell anyone you saw me.
Okay, but you have to tell me everything I want to know.
Okay. Okay. I was sending a message, man. They had these rotter drummers posted around the quarter. They see everything. And they report.
Report? How?
The drums, man. It's some kind of code.
Tell me about the Rada drums.
I already told you about that.
Now tell me about the voodoo murders.
They did the murders. And that's not the only way they kill. They can get you from miles away just by saying your name.
Come on, you don't really believe that, do you?
I seen it, man. You can't cross them.
Tell me more about the voodoo murders.
There's nothing more to tell. They kill people.
Now tell me about the animal masks.
They wear them dancing at the rituals. They don't just wear them. They become them. They become the animals.
Stop talking nonsense.
It happens. That's all I know.
Tell me what you know about a secret voodoo hanfour in New Orleans.
All right. There's this is an underground cartel in New Orleans. A voodoo cartel. They control everything that happens on the street. I mean everything. Bought or sold. They have their fingers in the legit world too. Banks, foreign stuff, you name it. There's supposed to be this temple. What you said, a hound form. That's their headquarters. I heard people say it's underground. Somewhere in the French Quarter. I don't know where.
Have you ever been there?
No, I've never been in it. I'm a nobody. A runner. But I saw them once. Out at the lake. They became animals, man. Beasts. I remember the eyes. The eyes.
Hey, are you okay?
The eyes. The eyes of the snake.
I think I should go get a doctor. Hey, are you alright?
Someone! I need help!
The eyes of the snake. Dambala.
Oh, what snake? Crash!
Crush spasms twice more, then dies as Gabriel watched it.
Oh, God. Poor bastard.
Crash's face shows signs of strangulation. His death was not a pleasant one. On Crash's chest is a tattoo of a snake.
I guess I better copy this tattoo.
It's getting late. Gabriel decides to go home for the day.
Hello?
It's me. I can't sleep.
Me neither.
Can I?
Yes. Come.
Are you okay, Gabriel?
Sure. Great. Why?
I'm worried about you.
If I were any better, Grace, I'd be dead. Now, what's up?
You got another package this morning. FedEx from Germany.
I was expecting that. Where is it?
Well, it kind of came open, but I salvaged the contents. There was a letter from your great-uncle Wolfgang and a journal.
The package just came open, huh? How'd you like the journal?
Someone has to look after you. You're in trouble. In case you don't know it.
Yeah, you've been reading my horoscope again, haven't you, Grace?
Just read the journal carefully, Gabriel. Please.
I got it. St. George's books. Oh, Professor Hartridge, I'm glad you called. Did you... You did? Wait, slow down. The Aigris? Really? You think that's them? The wheel within a wheel? Ogun Badagri, huh? Well, that does sound like it. Dambala, the snake. That's the wavy pattern at the bottom, okay. The 1791 slave revolt in Santo Domingo. Well, why would the Veve show up there? Okay. 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 Look, I'll come over as soon as I can. Okay. Relax, Professor. I'm excited too, but you're gonna give yourself a heart attack. Okay. Thanks. See ya.
I wish you'd tell me what's going on. I swear you're gonna step into a hole you may never get out of.
Don't look so worried. No one knows what I'm doing. I'm perfectly safe. And I'm getting some great stuff for the book. Besides, there's something about all this. My dreams.
What about your dreams?
Nothing. I'll be careful, I promise.
Times-Picayune, dated June 22nd, 1993. Disgusted with the state of the voodoo murder case, Gabriel turns right to his horoscope. The shadow upon you is no longer reversible.
Wonderful. See you later.
Have fun.
Hey, Hotridge, what's the good word? Hotridge? Ah! Oh, God, not again.
Something about Hartridge's death mask reminds Gabriel of the way Crash checked out. Not a pretty ending. Dr. Hartridge's desk is remarkably neat, especially considering the rest of the room. On the desk is a sheet of paper with some scribbled notes. It looks recent.
These notes look interesting.
Wolfgang's letter says,
Dear Gabriel, please read the enclosed journal carefully. It might help you understand your family's special obligations and our current predicament. God be with you, Uncle Wolfgang.
Hartridge's notes are scribbled on notepad paper. Hartridge's notes are scribbled on notepad paper. Before leaving the university, Gabriel notifies campus security about Hartridge's body.
Why is it so dark in here? Dr. John? Hello? Uh-oh.
You bastard!
Good day, Mr. Knight.
That thing just tried to kill me.
He did? I am sorry. The museum is closed today, you see, and we were not expecting visitors. But if you will excuse me, Mr. Knight, I must go look for him. He is incredibly valuable.
You don't need to ask twice. I'm out of here. By the way, you might want to lock your door next time you're closed.
Not a bad idea. Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
What happened to you?
Who, me? Nothing. Why?
Well, you're kind of a pale green color. Come here.
Pale green, you say? Charming.
What's that on your face?
I'm sure you'll tell me.
Looks like a sparkly or something. Got it.
I love it when you pick stuff off my face, Grace.
Well, excuse me.
There's a snake scale in the ashtray.
Looks like the python left me a souvenir. Very interesting.
Those two objects. Gabriel magnifies the snake scale from the Voodoo Museum's python. The iridescent scale is brilliantly hued with greens and purples. Gabriel magnifies the scale from the lake. It's hued with purples and greens. It matches the scale from the Voodoo Museum. He places the two scales together. Gabriel reads through the pages Wolfgang marked. He reads of Gunter Ritter's journey to Charleston as witch hunter, hired by the townsmen to solve a series of ritualistic murders. He reads about Gunter's meeting with a beautiful slave woman, Tetelo, and of Gunter's tormenting urges for her.
Oh, bastard.
He reads of their physical union and passion, and of Gunter's investigations into the murders. The victims were all crew members on a certain slaving expedition to Africa, it seemed. The second to the last entry described Gunter's plan to set a trap for the coven committing the murders. He found the name of one of the surviving members of the crew, a man now living in the West Indies. Gunter has spread a false rumor that the man is returning to Charleston. He himself will impersonate a sailor and allow himself to fall into the hands of the coven. Naturally, Gunter has arranged for able-bodied assistants to follow and attack the coven before they can do him harm.
Halsey, son of a bitch, wasn't he?
Gabriel turns to the final entry of the journal.
See you later.
Uh-huh.
Hey, hey, hey. It's you, God help me.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
Crash is dead.
What? What are you talking about? I let him go yesterday.
Yeah, and I watched him die yesterday at St. Louis Cathedral.
At the cathedral? Guess he was trying to get a last-minute A-train ticket, eh? Poor bastard.
I think you should go find the body at the morgue. He was killed by the voodoo cult. Crash said.
Crash said? Did he mention pink elephants, too?
Aren't you going to investigate?
Civilians. Did you actually see someone kill him?
No. Actually, I was with him when he died. Could have been poison, though.
Yeah, well, when they get the body in, they'll do a quick autopsy. Standard procedure. If it's anything other than an overdose, I'll get a report. But it won't happen. I know these guys. Lock them up overnight and they tend to overdo it the next day.
Your professionalism is astonishing. There's been another murder. A professor at Tulane.
Oh, Christ, you're not gonna start this again.
Just listen. This guy's name is Hartridge. He was a professor in African studies at Tulane. Yesterday, I went to see him about the voodoo murders case. He agreed to do some research for me. He calls me up this morning, tells me he's onto something big. And when I get over there, the guy's dead.
You know, you're really getting your ass in a sling over this thing, Knight.
It's not about me. Look, Hartridge's death looked just like Crash's. I'm telling you, they were both murdered. And by the same people who did the voodoo murders.
Did either Crash or this new guy have their hearts ripped out?
No.
Then there's nothing to link either to the voodoo murders, M.O. Besides that, the case is closed, Knight. If the coroner's report asks for a homicide investigation on either of these guys, fine. But it's not going to be related to the voodoo murders case unless we find damn good reason to do so.
But I'm the link to the voodoo murders case, don't you see?
Look, if I were you, I wouldn't repeat that to anyone. 'Cause if I weren't an old friend of yours, I might take you seriously and lock you up. As it is, maybe you should start keeping your mouth shut. Not involve other people with this shit if you think it's so dangerous.
This is a newspaper clipping about a murder committed in 1810. That murder is an exact match of the voodoo murders, right down to the marks around the bodies.
This does sound like the same M.O. 1810?
1810. They killed then, they're killing now. Isn't that proof that they're likely to kill again? That they are a threat?
Sure. If there is a voodoo cult, they're a threat.
I have these two snake scales. One's from the crime scene at Lake Pontchartrain. The other's from a snake in the Voodoo Museum on Ursulines and Charters.
Is this common? Do they all look alike?
Not at all. They're both constrictor scales, and the coloring is the same. A python's coloring is quite individualistic.
A python?
That's right. Hardly an indigenous snake to Louisiana. Somehow, some way, the Voodoo Museum's python was at the scene of the Lake Pontchartrain murder.
Well, I'd call that a lead, all right. Certainly suggests certain lines of inquiry at the museum. Not bad work, Knight. Whether or not the museum's involved with a legitimate voodoo cult, though, is another matter. These guys may just be faking it, too.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
How can I convince you to reopen the case?
You still need to prove there's a legitimate voodoo cult in New Orleans.
Have you ever called the hair club for men?
I'd rather have no hair than your hair, Knight.
Take a look at these notes. They're from Professor Hartridge at Tulane University.
Yeah? What about them?
They confirm that the pattern from the murders is of African origin.
This is interesting, if true. But how do you know he had the right pattern?
You know those marks you found around the murder victims? This is a reconstruction of the whole pattern.
What makes you think this is an accurate reconstruction?
Well, I borrowed the partial patterns from your police file and did my own tracing of the pattern at Lake Pontchartrain. An architectural artist reconstructed it for me from the partials.
Really? So that's what Hartridge used, huh? I guess his analysis is on target, then. Okay, the murders were committed by a legitimate voodoo cult. You proved your point. Okay, I'll reopen the case. I hate to admit it, but you've done some pretty good detective work here tonight.
Well, you know what they say. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Well, point taken. Glad I could inspire you. I'll check around the department, but I have a feeling I'm on my own. In fact, I better lock up this office just in case I step on a few toes. Come on. Now, lay low and let me handle this.
Yeah, fine.
Lucy, home.
Oh boy, party time.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Have you ever heard of Dumbala?
Ooh, no. Makes my skin crawl, though.
Does Ogun Badakri mean anything to you?
No. Sorry.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure. What?
Could you research rudder drums for me?
Rhododrum? Sure. I don't think we have any books on that topic in the shop, but I'll contact our suppliers. Assuming any of them will extend you any credit.
Tell them it's an emergency.
Uh-huh. I can see where a rhododrum book would be incredibly urgent. Anything else?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. It's time to close shop.
So it is. Have a nice night.
You too. See you tomorrow.
Damn!
What is it? What's wrong?
Gabriel?
I see it, Grace. Hold on. There's no one in the shop, and I know there's no one in back. It's okay.
Okay. Gabriel, that thing is still barely alive. How could someone do this?
With a knife, maybe?
God, don't even start. We should call the police.
No. I'll take care of it.
But Gabriel...
I said I'll take care of it. Why don't you go get some coffee? I'll have it all cleaned up before you get back.
Oh, they know where you live now.
It's gonna be fine. Now go on. Are you sure you don't want to go home? I could close the shop today.
No. I'd rather keep busy. I'll be fine. At least that creepy guy is gone. Ugh. Not that they aren't still watching. Anyway, speaking of keeping busy, we got that book you ordered in this morning. The one on rhododrums.
Really? Great.
Gabriel!
I see it. Stay back. It's just an envelope.
I can see that.
Gabriel eyes the surreptitiously delivered envelope. There doesn't seem to be anything unusual about it. Gabriel opens the envelope and finds A note from Mosley and a small brass key. Mosley's note says,
Gabe, I have to go underground with this thing. It runs wide and deep throughout the department and the city board. I'm already being watched. It was suggested I take vacation time, so I am, at least as far as they know. Try to keep out of this. It's too hot for a rookie. Just in case, I'm sending you my office key. You might find some useful things there. P.S. I think this note will look great in the book, don't you? Make sure you save it.
the note is signed, Detective Mosley.
Are you gonna be okay here by yourself?
I'll be just fine. Just fix this, okay?
I'm trying, Gracie. Hey, Grace. Here I am.
Oh, joy.
Times-Picayune, dated the 23rd of June, 1993. Gabriel finds an article about St. Jean's Eve. It discusses the day's Catholic roots and its adoption by voodoo devotees. In the early to mid-1800s, St. Jean's Eve was celebrated with elaborate voodoo gatherings at Lake Pontchartrain, Bayou St. Jean, and other sites outside the city. These days, the day is commemorated commercially in some of the local shops, and a few churches still hold a St. Jean's Eve Mass. Despite his better judgment, Gabriel reads his horoscope. Today you will either die or your life will change forever.
Sure, why not? It is St. John's Eve. They'll be out tonight for sure. But where? I'm going out.
Have fun.
Gabriel listens carefully to the drums and opens his radar book to translate. If Gabriel's translation of the drum code is correct, there'll be a conclave tonight in the swamp. That must be the bayou.
Let me get these new marks down.
Gabriel checks the two messages for duplicate symbols and transfers the letters from the matches to the new message. He finds that he has the translation for all of the symbols, except for 3.
Hello.
What can I do for you, sir?
Say, haven't I seen you before?
I get around the French Quarter. Used to be at Royal and Conti.
You say you used to be at Royale and Conti?
That's right.
Why don't you go back there?
Do you think? I've been kind of torn. Must be the weather. These thick clouds we've had all week. I'm just not seeing the crowds here that I expected.
I definitely think you should go back to Royal and Conti.
Really? I'm glad you think so. I always liked that beat, but I thought I ought to give this a shot.
Oh, absolutely. The grass is always greener.
Exactly. You're right. I'm going back over there today.
Hey, it's a beignet guy. He's back.
Where?
Grab me 3 or 4, would ya?
Forget it, I'm broke.
Rats. You stay put. I'll be back in a minute.
Gabriel can't... The door is locked. That doesn't work that way.
Not me.
There is... Gabriel doesn't... Gabriel could... Gabriel doesn't see anything of it. Gabriel... Mosley's desk has more groin on it than on his head. Gabriel can... Gabriel does... Gabriel could... Nah. Gabriel could... There is not... There is... Gabriel could... Gabriel could... Gabriel could... Gabriel... 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 Gabriel can... Gabriel... Gabriel would... That doesn't work that... Gabriel...
Not me. Not me. Not me.
There's a tracking device in the drawer.
This tracker might come in handy.
Hey, get out of there, you.
Sorry, just looking for a restroom. Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
We don't have a, Detective Mosley here.
What? I've seen him all week.
Listen to what I'm saying. We don't have a Detective Mosley on the force.
About Detective Mosley.
I told you, there's no Mosley here. Now get lost!
Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
Professor Hartridge said that in Voodoo, a small ritual coffin is called a seke module. Professor Hartridge said that in Voodoo, a small ritual coffin is called a seke module. Gabriel slips the signal device into the seke module.
Can I assist you, Mr. Knight?
No, just looking.
Now, if only they take the coffin to the ritual.
I hate to rush you, Mr. Knight, but I am afraid I must close the museum early this evening. This is St. John's Eve, and it's getting on towards dusk. I have things I must do.
I see. No problem. I'll just...
Leave. Goodbye, Mr. Knight. May the spirits guard you well tonight.
Gabriel should at least wait until the watchman is gone before defacing the tomb.
I think I'll leave a message of my own.
Sensing that his message isn't quite right, Gabriel rubs it off in frustration.
I think I'll leave a message of my own.
Sensing that his message isn't quite right, Gabriel rubs it off in frustration.
I think I'll leave a message of my own.
Sensing that
I think I'll leave a message of my own.
Pleased with his message, Gabriel tosses the break down. Now, if only DJ reads it in time.
I knew you'd miss me, so I came back.
Oh boy, party time.
Will you do me a favor?
What?
Use your paints to copy this snake tattoo onto my chest.
Now why on earth would you want me to do that?
I'm going to a party tonight. Costume, you know.
You don't say. I guess you're going with Maya.
Yeah. That's right.
And why should I help you out? We don't even like Maya.
Well, if you're jealous about my feelings for her...
You know that's not it. I just think, as your friend, that she's trouble.
It's perfectly understandable. I know you have certain feelings for me. Quite naturally.
Me? I would rather be hung by my hair over a bed of scorpions.
I know it must be hard having it in your face like this. No chance to avoid hearing about it, seeing it day by day.
Fine, I'll do it. Just shut up. Can we at least go in the back?
Sure, but... could you say that one more time and pout your lips more?
Ugh.
What did I say?
All right, let's go. The shirt, please.
You don't know how long I've been waiting for this moment.
Now. Hold still.
Maybe you'd like to tie me up?
One more remark, and I'm leaving.
Okay, okay.
Done. It's just stunning.
Sorry I couldn't make it last longer.
Well, it was about what I expected from you.
I'll be back later.
Have fun.
Gabriel pulls out the tracking device, hoping that the Sheki Madule made it to the ritual and that this thing will work.
All right. There's a blip. They must be here with the Seike Madule.
Gabriel can barely focus on the LED with those drums in his head. He hopes he's reading it correctly. Gabriel feels so turned around. Is this thing working? Bayou Saint-Jean seems denser, thicker, darker than Gabriel remembers. In the twilight of heavy growth, everything looks the same. Gabriel can barely focus on the LED with those drums in his head. He hopes he's reading it correctly. The entrance to a clearing is marked with voodoo skulls. At last!
When in Rome. Here goes nothing.
Welcome, Brother Crocodile. Please join the other celebrants.
Yes, Dr. John. Brother Eagle.
But first, name the great serpent who crushes all in his coils.
Dumbala.
You are correct, Brother Crocodile. Who is the destroyer of men?
Ogun Badagri.
You are correct, Brother Crocodile. Enjoy yourself well tonight.
Gabriel!
Malia.
I know you now. I can smell his blood in your veins.
No.
You cannot change your destiny, or ours.
No.
I will find. I will destroy.
No!
Where is your necklace now, witch hunter? Where are your pretty gems?
Gabriel! Gabriel, wake up!
Ow, my head.
It's about time. I've been trying to wake you for hours. There's no time to lose.
I had another dream.
It wasn't a dream, believe me. Now come on, get dressed.
Wait a minute. I'm starting to remember. Something about Malia.
She's the head priestess of the Voodoo Cartel. They're responsible for the murders. They've been doing it for years.
Malia? Last night she was the leopard. Like in my dreams, Grace.
I know. Those dreams were a warning. Now come on, get dressed.
But last night, Malia changed. She became someone, something else. And then I blacked out, I think. How did I get home?
I followed you last night. I had my doubts about the Gettys. Did you know that they arrived in New Orleans in 1800? just in time for the voodoo influx. I knew you were going to try to sneak into a ceremony last night, so I followed you. Lucky for you that I did. If you'd been left at the circle last night, I don't know what she would have done to you.
You're wrong. Malia wouldn't hurt me.
What about Tetelo?
Tetelo? They were chanting that last night. That's the name from Gunther's journal. The woman who took the talisman.
Yes. Gabriel, it's your destiny you're facing. You can't just blunder your way through this or you'll end up dead. Tetelo will be after you now. You have to call your great uncle in Germany.
Uncle Wolfgang?
Yes. He knows more about this than we do.
Okay, I'll call her. But Malia isn't responsible for those things, Grice. It's that spirit, that Loa. It's Tetelo.
Yeah. Possession is convenient that way. Call Wolfgang, Gabriel. I'll be in the shop.
Guten Tag. Sie haben Schloss Ritter erreicht?
This is Gabriel Knight. Can I speak to Wolfgang, please?
Ja, Herr Knight. Einen Moment, bitte.
Gabriel, it's so good to hear your voice. I had such a dream last night.
There's a good reason for that, Uncle Wolfgang. We need to talk.
Gabriel fills in Wolfgang on the events of the previous evening.
Oh, it is even worse than I thought.
You bet it is. We have to talk about what I'm supposed to do. What can you tell me about Schattenjägers?
Yes, of course. I sometimes forget how little you know of the family, Gabriel. I never understood how Heinz could allow his sons to remain ignorant. But now is not the time for that discussion. Schattenjäger is really two words in English, Gabriel. Schatten means shadow, and Jäger means hunter.
Shadow hunter?
Yes. Shadow hunter.
Tell me more about Schattenjägers.
We Ritters have been Schattenjägers for many centuries. No one is sure when it began or how, but we have records of ancestors as early as the 13th century fulfilling this role. Some believe that the role was given us when... but such fantasies cannot be of use to you at the moment, Gabriel.
Tell me about Tetelo.
Well, from your description of the ritual last night, I'd say that Gunther's mistress, Tetelo, is now the primary Loa for the Gede tribe. It seems she still controls them by possessing her female descendants and speaking through them. Do you remember in Gunther's journal he said that Tetelo was possessed by her father's Loa during the killings in Charleston?
This sounds similar, but Tetelo has obviously become a much more powerful Loa than her father ever was. Probably because of the added power of the talisman.
Let's talk about the talisman.
I myself have only seen it in old sketches and paintings, and in my dreams. It was in the family for centuries before Tetelo took it. It is believed to be as old as the role of Schattenjäger itself. The talisman has genuine power. I don't know how or why, but it is so. The Schattenjägers swore to use the power for good, never for evil. For defense, not offense. Since it fell into Tetelo's hands, I'm afraid to think what the power has been used for, or what it will be used for in the future. With the talisman, Tetelo has all the power and we none. The only possible way to fight her is to regain the talisman. Then we will at least be on more equal footing.
How can we regain the talisman?
We've been searching for the talisman for years, ever since we lost it. It's a terrible thing to know that something powerful that was entrusted to us is in the wrong hands. The talisman is probably buried with Tetelo's remains. That's what gives her lore so much power.
How would we find Tetelo's remains?
Ha! We have pondered that question a long time, Leoritas. There are two probabilities. The first is that her remains are with the tribe at their current location. The other is that the remains were returned to a sacred place near the tribe's original homeland. We've tried to locate Tetelo's African homeland, but Gunter says so little in his journal about her tribe, and slaving records are practically non-existent. Also, Tetelo's tribe was utterly destroyed in its African form in the late 17th century. There was nothing like a census in Africa then. As for the other idea, we had no clue as to where Tetelo's people went after fleeing Charleston, until now.
Let's discuss the possible African homeland.
All right. Have you learned anything that might help us locate it?
I spoke with the Professor Hotridge. Unfortunately for him, he thinks the tribe's name was Agri, and that they lived near the Fon tribe in what is now called the People's Republic of Benin.
That is incredible, Gabriel. I must go research this new information in my library right now.
Wait, what should I do?
Stay low. If you get a chance, you might look into the possibility that Tetelo's remains are somewhere in New Orleans. But don't try to broach their private areas without my assistance, Gabriel. You will make a fine Schattenjäger, but only if you are not dead.
Sure, I'll wait.
Bye then, Gabriel, and remember, if you need a place of safety, come to Schloss Ritter.
Goodbye, Uncle Wolfgang.
Times-Picayune, dated June 24th, 1993. There's nothing about the Voodoo murders case in the papers today. Gabriel finds a humorous tidbit under the Life is Stranger Than Fiction column. Apparently, there were reports of ghosts in the Bayou Saint Jean last night. Various people called the newspaper with stories about hearing strange noises and seeing weird lights over the swamp. Some folks claim it's the ghost of Marie Laveau. The paper relates it to similar delusions that crop up every Halloween. Gabriel's horoscope today reads, "Wise is the warrior who knows when to fight and when to get the hell out of Dodge."
God help me, I'm actually starting to listen to this guy. I'm going out for a bit.
Be careful.
The plate's already up, and Gabriel doesn't want to put it back down. Gabriel hears the faint sound of breaking glass.
Damn, you'd think there'd be a light.
There's broken glass on the floor. It's a lit button. Crypt drawers line the back wall. Gabriel can't make out the name on that drawer's plaque. That drawer is marked with a pattern like the VV.
Mosley! Shit, I dropped my flashlight.
Huh?
Ouch, my head! What the hell was that?
That
Mosley's body is gone.
have you been? I was worried about you.
For good reason, apparently.
What happened? Do you need a doctor?
Nothing you want to know about, and no, just some aspirin.
This is nuts. You have to get out of New Orleans.
No kidding.
Well, listen. Wolfgang called while you were out. He said, and I quote, "Tell Gabriel that I found what I was looking for. It's time for me to do my duty. Schloss Ritter is his now." Now, call me crazy, but I don't think that's good news.
Not for Uncle Wolfie, no.
What are you gonna do?
If I figure it out, I'll let you know.
This is the first page.
I'm doing the best I...
There's nothing.
Hello. See the World Travel Agency. How may I help you?
How much for a trip to Rittersburg, Germany?
Rittersburg, Germany? Hold on, let me look that up. I can fly you into Munich. That's the closest airport to Rittersburg. You can rent a car from there, or take the train. Let's see. The best price I can see for the flight is $1,400. What would you like to do?
I can't afford it. Sorry.
I see. Goodbye.
There's not enough. Gabriel opens the wallet and finds some ID belonging to Mosley and an American's repressed card.
Hello. See the World Travel Agency. How may I help you?
What about that trip to Rittersburg, Germany?
Oh, yes. There's a flight from New Orleans to Munich for $1,400. Did you want me to book that, sir?
Charge it to my Americans repressed.
Yes, sir. And your name was?
Mosley.
Feeling a little guilty, Gabriel gives the travel agent Mosley's card number and is informed that he can pick up his ticket at the New Orleans International Airport.
Guess what? I'm going to Germany.
Really? That's great, but how on earth could you afford?
A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do.
Oh my God. I wouldn't like the sound of that even if you were a man.
I'll miss you too, Grace. Goodbye, Gracie.
Good luck. Let me know what's going on, will you?
Of course.
Gabriel picks up his tickets at the airport and boards a plane for Munich.
Wolfgang?
Hello, my name is Knight, Gabriel Knight.
Herr Knight. Oh, kommen Sie bitte, Herren. I mean, come in, please, Herr Knight. I was not expecting you. Has Wolfgang sent you here?
Uncle Wolfgang? No, I came to see him. Isn't he here?
No, he is gone. I'm sorry. You came all this way.
Oh, great.
Herr Knight, Wolfgang told me all about you and gave me instructions for you to feel welcome here. Please, this is your home. You are a Ritter, no? I am just doing some work. I will continue and you may make yourself comfortable. If there is anything you need, please ask me. You may use Wolfgang's bedroom. It is at the top of the stairs.
Thank you, Miss,
You may call me Gerda, Herr Knight.